Visham Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Sarvesham Mangalam. May there be happiness for all. May there be peace for all. May there be wholeness for all. May there be spaciousness. We have been repeating this again. Why? Did you contemplate? May there be happiness. Yes, during the day. Why we miss? Because of the delusion and the ignorance. We remind the mind, don't run after the delusion, run after what is. That is what those consciousness is the light of consciousness by which we know the world of people, events. Take my example, and then you can apply that. I see you as the manifestation of my master. It is the same consciousness. I see the manifestation of her, and at the same time, I also know the master is basically nothing but absolute. That is what the Mangalacharan mantra. Why I talk something different. One day, your mind recalls, remember, repeat, out, and forget. Then what happens? Yes, you are living into the higher consciousness. Otherwise, what happens? Because of the delusion, we become me centric, not all centric. May there be happiness for all. May there be happiness for me only. Default mind versus the discerning mind. Do you see that? You have to maintain that awareness. And if you don't maintain that awareness, then what happens? Me centric, you are already sowing the seed of anxiety, duality, and that sets the mind to reaction. But we have to move from the reaction to the response. You have to, yes, you can open the eyes. You have to think like this. This is concentration. So why you are attending this session regularly? Because your mind should abide in that. Mind should abide in what? In that pure consciousness. When it abides in the pure consciousness, you are aware of peace, happiness, laughter, and bliss. Otherwise, we miss. So we miss, it is also one definition of the Maya. We talk about the Maya in the delusion. See that, let me tell you, you'll be more interested in that. You will be able to contemplate in this. Maya, it is made up of two syllables. Ma means not. Ya means this. I'm in anxiety. Not this. I'm not this. Stress, I'm not this. moment you declare inside your mind, this anxiety is a thought and a feeling associated, present in the mind, this is not me. You inserted husband, so husband is here. Ah, yeah, just giving you a point of awareness. When you live into that awareness, instantly you are free. I have given the answer. I'm also giving you the answer. That why we have to repeat this. But before that, we'll uh, have to answer that how you lived your life until today from the last session. Do you know the HR department? Start firing the wrong employees. Start hiring the dedicated, committed. What are the committed, dedicated employees? Mangalacharya, testing and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience, daily analysis, applying the wisdom, and then check that, evaluate, change in your behavior, attitude, and then things you can act in your life daily. Target. You have to fire those employees which cause anxiety, stress, reaction, association. You have to fire them. Why I explained firing and hiring? Because you will be able to separate it, that you are not an anxiety. It is a thought of anxiety. You are not in stress. It is a thought with a feeling of distress that belongs to the mind, but you are not. For a higher seeker, we have to live into. Our point now come to the same question. Why we have to attend, repeat, practice? When I have understood, yes, you have told me that I have understood my nature is real self. Why should I repeat it? Yeah, I'm giving one explanation. There are many explanations. When you know, you understand that he is your husband, she is your wife, do you need to repeat? Do you know your house? You need not to repeat. Contemplation. Why? Why we have to repeat this? Couple of people have told me that we have already understood it. So I'm saying goodbye to the session. I don't know whether they are living in total peace and happiness. Again, I'm saying, do you need to repeat X is my husband or wife? Once you know you get married, no, you know it. I don't need to repeat it. You buy a house, you know it. You need not to repeat it. Car or the things and the wealth, you have a bank account, you don't need to repeat. All are objects. Answer? All are objects, separate and different from Eastern wisdom is the journey of the self discovery. Because of the delusion and trillions of impressions of ignorance, we tend to forget. We fall into the delusion. We objectify our I. I convert the event into an incident and then I continue to suffer. There is an extreme suffering, forgetfulness because of trillions of impressions. I have to remind myself again and again during the day, every day, until the mind stops going If it is not going to the delusion, you can declare me, yet you can declare here in a session, yes, it is done. I have reached that stage. It is not so. The master says, company of the real. What is the company of the real? That is what the satsang is. That is what the satsang is. One more point before you can start sharing. You can stalk the whole universe, but you are still you. You understand that? You can stalk the whole universe. Stalking, we already understand. Actually, people stalk with whom they are attached. Stalking. You can know the coffee, car, carrier, even various kinds of the food, but you never become any one of them. They are objects and you are the object. Even when you know a person deeply, you don't morph into them. You remain the knower of that relationship. We want to know the knower in Eastern wisdom. So when you forget this and you claim that I have already learned it, you will fall again into the real self is unique. When you know it, you are not adding new information. You are simply recognizing what you already are. You're not manufacturing, you're not creating, you're not producing, you're not building the relationship. Falls into the trap of the delusion. That is why, if our eye is on awakening and self-knowledge, if your eye is not on awakening and self-actualization, then okay, every day we suffer, practice mindfulness, you are relaxed and continue. You can manage your anxiety. We are not talking that. You can study fire in a book without warmth. But when you discover your hand is fire, knowledge and experience. Let us share your wisdom during the last session. Let us start with Steve.
Thank you, sir. I've been giving a lot of thought to this. On our last session, I shared that things have been really good, and I wanted to take a deeper look at that, and it made me start thinking about kind of the way that we look at when I work. I look at things of what can we focus on? What could we do? We call them the levers, the buttons or the shifts that we could push or pull that are going to make a significant change. And what came to me was the fact that there might be 7, 8, 9 of them, but you have to do one at a time. Otherwise, you don't know whether what's working or not. So I brought that back to the Eastern wisdom, and I started focusing really on the response and reaction concept. And what I realized is that there was still so much that came at me in these last 3 or 4 days between what my wife, my daughter and her, another flat tire, 3 tow trucks in less than 3 weeks. It's ridiculous. David and Jareen, our kids are going back to California this week. Our granddaughter's going back to California this week. It creates emotions that then trigger, other things and so on and so forth. My business partner is in town. That always triggers something. And it's nothing's happening. It's just been that because of the focus on the response and not the reaction, it has really led to this the six treasures just come naturally, and it's there. It just leads one to the other, and it's just been great. So thank you for everything.
Yes, yes. Yes, the universe, the world outside of events, of people, of relationships. Let us add one more thing, including the so-called the harsh realities of birth, growth, aging, and the death. They are the events outside. That though these events are separate from what I am, who I am. This is the message of these. So when I'm aware it, I have a response. I don't have a reaction. And obviously, then how to enter into that response? These six treasures are the gems. Beautifully said. I appreciate. Yes, you are. We can share our personal challenges that we have in our life because it helps us to contemplate and reflect and lead us to that state of consciousness. How are you, David and Jay?
Thank you. And, sort of to tag along what Stephen was saying, after the New Year's in our business, everybody's trying to figure out what this year is going to entail. So there's lots of conversations. And, typically in the past, I get attached to a certain outcome for the year, wanting to achieve that. And this time I just noticed being in conversations and just like flow and just, organically let them happen, and it feels very calming and relieving. I can't control the market, I can't control what it is, but out of all of that, just kind of not having a position on it, just more coming from questioning and asking questions. I'm learning where I think the market's going to be, but I'm not attached to it. Like I don't want it to be a certain way like in the past. So that's one thing I've noticed this week. The other thing is we've been dealing with a frustrating partner, which, I objectify that relationship. And that I just let it go. I just let it be. And he is what he is and he does what he does and it is what it is kind of thing. So it's been very peaceful. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Beautiful. Couple of points. Prepare the project outside in the everything you like. But this is not me. In that awareness that this is not me. What will happen? That will keep you relaxed. You are doing the same thing. You have not converted the events into an incident. Attachment is there. The moment you have an attachment and association, last year, we experienced that sense of that is a beautiful point that you started the new year with that calm and the peace. But that calm and the peace is not the laziness in your profession. I meet on the same time, same day. It's a New Year's Day. Everyone is relaxed. So let us meet at 8:30. Why don't meet at 7:50? That laziness should not be there. That laziness will not come in the true journey of the self-discovery. Why? You are able to maintain yourself. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. The awareness has been on the self, the true nature, and with that, there's been a lot of freedom in. It's like working smarter, I guess.
Yeah.
It just kind of shines through, and then I don't worry about anything, and I seem to be having more work, but I feel less busy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's just, and I'm not, I am doing more, but I don't feel like I'm doing more. And it's just been, I don't know. It's just been,
yes. You are doing more, but because the mind is not attached, detached, it is not deluded, and we continue doing more. And we feel as if we are totally relaxed. We think as if every day is a new way to evolve. It is not different. That's a very beautiful point one has to understand and apply in our daily life. Otherwise, that busyness causes the attachment will lead us to frustration and suffering. Then it means we have not understood the Eastern wisdom. Christina has noted down something. Yes. The relevant point coming from Jerry. Yes, for you.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm taking lots of notes. It helps it to land for me. I recently became a business owner of the practice, our group practice, and I had maybe a 12-hour transition meeting on Monday after our session. And so there's many, many thoughts and reactions and busyness and overwhelm. And I am able to watch it and see it and notice it and have like an arm's length distance from it at times, kind of go back and forth. But what I'm hearing today is really helping, that, I'm not the business, I'm not the people, I'm not the problems.
Yes. Keep repeating and reflecting on it. Maintain your awareness. Now tell me, let us say that in this session, I see that you have 5 businesses. You are business owner of 5 companies. Your peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. I have to ask myself. Answer is big no. Is Elon Musk happy? So the objective reality, I have to maintain that, to get rid of that objective reality. Yes, Christina, how are you?
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Girish. I love that you just said, I wrote down that every day is a new day to evolve, because this morning I was just thinking that maybe an hour or two, or I guess 3 hours ago, but anyways, and because I've been just, for some reason, my mind is liking to turn on really quickly after I wake up, and I feel and experience anxiety for no reason. And I know that's not there. I went to bed fine. I had a great, smooth, peaceful day yesterday. And then this morning I wake up with a ton of anxiety, and I kind of got attached to that for a little bit. And I just sat and contemplated, and I was like, well, what changed? Nothing. And so it's just the experience and the mind going crazy and for no reason. And I'm actually very grateful that some other things, I was supposed to have a passport renewal appointment this morning, and last night I was telling my partner, I was like, shoot, I had to book it the same time as this session. And then I just thought about it, and he's like, well, it's okay. Like, you could listen to it on YouTube like you always do. And I was like, you know what? No, I could reschedule. I don't need it tomorrow. I'm not going international tomorrow. In a few weeks I am, but it'll work out. And I'm completely have been in peace with that decision, and I'm happy to be here. So
beautiful. Yes. One great decision, you rescheduled other things. And your mind said, this is the most important, my journey to the self. Another point, the moment we discussed many a times, every day you wake up in the morning, you start with the Mangalaya. Other thoughts are there. Let the other thoughts of anxiety is there. Oh, Sarvesham, then you contemplate. When you contemplate, it moves your mind from a me centric, that is what we discussed, from me centric to all centric. Moment your mind drops this me centric to all centric, you will find you are in. It is possible. Let us try. Yes, we will let other two will share their experiences later. Yes, or Sangeeta, you want to share? Yes, you can share. And then Terry, yes.
सर जैसे इस वीक में जैसे हस्बैंड के साथ ही आर्गुमेंट हुआ तो वो चाह रहे थे कि मैं जवाब दूं लेकिन उस टाइम पे मैं बिल्कुल चुप रही और थोड़ी देर बाद वो सब सॉर्ट हो गया और फिर यही मैंने सोचा कि इस बात पे तो मैं हूँ उनका जो है गुस्सा है या कुछ है फ्रस्ट्रेशन है वो टेम्पररी है थोड़ी देर बाद ठीक हो जाएगा लेकिन मुझे उस टाइम पे अपने आप को कंट्रोल में रखना
Beautiful. Her husband, both have been my students. Her husband reacted and she kept quiet. She followed that example. If your partner says something, you keep quiet. Does not say anything, you still keep quiet. That you can check your level of endurance. And 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, and after a few times, partner recognizes that he or she is not going to hear what she says, that everything calm down. Yes, that is another practical application of this Eastern wisdom. We are moving towards sexualization. Yes, Terry, you want to share something?
I've had a good success with the challenges, with it, maybe. And I've reminded myself that, sometimes it feels, well, I wish I was a business owner. Some of these other challenges that people have, I feel like I would like to have those challenges instead of my own. But I'm reminding myself that is not me. And things have continued to happen. And there's a lot of, a friend of mine who is older than me broke her hip, and another friend is having a breast cancer. And so they're really challenged in their own lives. And every day I wake up and I think, well, look at all the things that didn't happen that could have.
Yes. Couple of points, Terry, is very important to understand. First thing to understand, the way the existence has placed us in a particular situation with a particular challenges, problems, we have to deal with that. Don't start dreaming, let me have the challenges in other businesses I should be able to manage. Whatever, wherever we are. Don't you think that I have challenges? Yes. Everyone has. Those challenges are nothing but events outside converted into an incident due to the delusion. I have to reflect it, I have to contemplate, and I have to get rid of it. So that I can find my real self. That is the journey. That one more topic that I will pick up, and that topic is on the Samadhanam, the sixth treasure. have a chronic habit of distraction that steals the relaxation in you. That makes you busy. Then your mind says, I am busy. Chronic distraction steals the relaxation and joy. Don't glorify it. Calm down. Any situation, every situation, you can calm down. We have the ability to calm down. Now coming to this samadhanam, the sixth treasure. Two words, fulfilled and focused. Fulfilled inside, focused outside. That is another definition of the sixth treasure. Fulfilled and focused, the inner stillness that does not depend on the circumstances outside. You all reflected directly or indirectly. David reflected about the business that, today, this year I started with the peace and happiness. You see, you just pay attention. Businessman has a great quarter. For example, profits up, praise from the boss, and a congratulated messages all day. He feels on the top of the world. Now you have recently started the business. Just pay attention. He feels on the top of the world. A month later, a market dip wipes. Market dip wipes out those gains. Same people now blame him, and his mood crashes. Watching himself swing like a pendulum. This happens. That guy wonders, am I just a puppet of profit and loss? Puppet of profit and loss. One evening, met a teacher of the Eastern wisdom who lives simply but radiates steady joy regardless of the news, regardless of the events, regardless of the circumstances. Separate mentally. Power of discernment, dispassion, and then comes the sixth treasure. You are separate. And that is explained by the metaphor, the sky and the weather. The metaphor is like the clear sky. Samadhana is like the clear sky. You have to check. Everything is clear. It is a sky. It is vast. It is stable. It is untouched. While emotion, success, and failure are like passing weather. The problem is identifying with the storm instead of the sky. I don't identify with that consciousness in me. I identify with profit and loss and anxiety and duality. I fell back into the same. Samadhana is the inner contentment and a single pointedness. Both are together. That is independent of outer ups and downs. Many ups and downs are ready to come. You are ready to face those challenges. Everyone. Me, you, Terry, everyone. We don't know. We cannot control the world outside. Samadhana is helping us to understand it matters because without this inner anchor, the spiritual life swings with every situation and then we don't get the mental maturity. As if I'm singing, I'm very spiritual and I'm suffering. No, it is not. Samadhana corrects the mistake of equating fulfillment with achievement. That is what I said. Fulfilled and focused. You equate fulfillment, inner fulfillment, with the achievement outside, approval outside, comfort outside. It is not possible. You projected $50,000 of the profit. You got it. The next day, the crazy mind will say, "Why I should have projected 100,000." I can bet you it will happen. That is the nature of the mind. So this samadhana, inner fulfillment, their single-pointed focus, especially towards self-inquiry, especially towards the journey of the Eastern way, contemplating you. It is the fulfillment within frees you from the dependency on the external conditions. Then you are doing a business. Yes, continue to do the business. Earn millions. Why millions? Earn billions. Still, something inside is independent and it is not carried away. The mind like a child. Why I said so? A parent with samadhana, that sixth treasure, handles a child's tantrum, mind's tantrum, without collapsing or exploding. Because inner worth is not riding on that. I maintain that calmness. Do I have a choice? Yes, I have a choice. Maintain that peace and the calm, fulfillment, focused. What prevents delusion? How the delusion manifests? In the form of ego. What the ego says, I will be peaceful when afterward, when my body is perfect, when my bank account is full, when everybody likes me, when my mind is quiet, and the Wi-Fi is always fast. Will never happen. When you appreciate me, I will be happy. You don't want to appreciate me. Or while appreciating, you add something nasty. Including your partners also. Leave beside. So in other words, I will relax when the entire universe obeys me, follows me, in that awareness all the time. This thought should not enter into you. When the world obeys me, follows me, accepts me, appreciates me, then I will be happy. You will lead a miserable life. I can bet you. Can help you to reflect on this. You are sitting on a train and watching the scenery pass. Watching the scenery pass. That is how the events come and go. Instead of running alongside the train, trying to control everything. That is what would, that is the cause of it. It comes from the delusion, and that is the cause of the suffering. I want to think of nothing can be. Alexander the Great could not control. You see the actors, great actors in the World War One could not control. World War Two not control. Don't give the value outside which is changing, and you are settled into samadhana. That is the so samadhana is the inner fulfillment, not the outer arrangement. It is not the temporary arrangement. You are the sky, not the weather. Think, you are the sky, I am the sky. It cannot be destroyed. Not the weather. Changing moods and true spiritual focus arises from this inner contentment. One or two more questions, so that things will become clear. Otherwise, your mind will start thinking in another way. I believe it is not, but still, let us clear. If I stop depending on outer things, won't I lose my motivation to do my business and do my stuff? What is your answer? Motivation shifts from anxiety and greed to clarity and contribution. Are you getting it? That is why I say you all are manifestations of my master. I must attend my master's presence. Now you see, motivation shifts from anxiety and greed. Who pays, who doesn't pay, how much one pays. Motivation shifts from anxiety and greed to clarity and contribution. You still act, but not as a beggar of outcomes. So you act out of self-fulfillment. Madam, inner fulfillment is there. That's why I'm talking. Samadhana the same as suppressing emotion? No. It is observing emotions without being enslaved. You don't become the slave of those emotions, you observe them. Clouds are seen as emotions, felt and allowed, but not made into a fixed identity. He inserted me. What does that mean? Me is a partner, a husband, a wife? No, it's a cloud. One more point. Can someone in a chaotic life situation really have samadhanam? Chaotic situation. Everything outside is chaotic. That samadhana awakens you to a state beyond pleasure and pain, beyond fame and the blame, beyond the success and the failure. It is developed in the midst of the life, not away from it. And if you develop that samadhanam, life will find your behavior, your attitude, that is another way, not only to understand samadhanam, but apply that practice in your daily life. That is close your place position, care of the place. Told me in the morning they had anxiety. You start with the first three steps. Place position and don't start thinking of those thoughts which causes the anxiety. Bring your mind back to the place position and posture, and then you be comfortable. You move your mind again and again in the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, until you start experiencing the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body, that experience will drive away your anxiety caused by the thought. Try this. Steps, and the third step is also has to be being carefree observer and observer. Now, in that state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, the third step, being carefree, is you are observing. All the thoughts are passing like the clouds in the sky. You are the now you know what happens. You see, you had a thought, and your mind went back into the past. You kept on thinking about it, and you are worried, and then you started contemplating, reflecting. That is also the way. There you remember the first three steps of the meditation, and then you check the inner calm and the outer inner calm. You will find samadhama uparama. Then comes the challenging part, is the titiksha, the endurance and the resilience. Don't worry about it. Sarvesham. Have stopped the dominance of your weakest thought by steps. And then you are asking your mind to dominate with the mantra. Can you imagine what is going to happen? Sarvesham sastir bhavatu. Sarvesham sastir bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam. Believe you are getting it. You have to bring this practice of meditation or few steps when your mind challenges you. Why stop there? But if you remember, then only it will happen. How do you remember? Why you forget? I have already explained. We are not going to the six neighbors. We are moving into the second stage, looking inside the forehead, in the space, and start breathing quick and fast into your chest. You already know on Thursdays we do a smaller session. On Mondays we do a full session. That will help you to bring the speedy change. Yes, continue long, deep in the hissing breath into your chest, into your rib cage, but focused where? We just discussed about samadhana, fulfilled and focused. Where the fulfillment is, it is inside. So where the focus needs to be? Have an answer. Here, breathing long, deep in the hissing breath. Why we are doing for two reasons: purification of the mind, remarkable focus inside, remarkable focus for higher awareness. You see, now this pranayama or the breathing practices is done that we awaken to samadhana. I did not disclose this couple of years. Understand, everything is clearly spelled in this meditation. Please continue. Long, deep in the hissing breath. Goal of the breathing, I said, purify the mind. I can simply say the goal is, if I say samadhana, the sixth treasure, yes, it fits here. And we will be doing only the one type of breathing today, that is Thursday's session. How the breath through return to normal, the flow of the breath. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. presence of the breath. With that presence, you are an observer of the breath. And in that observer of the breath, what do you notice? Observer means that you notice. What do you notice? You notice place, position, and posture. You notice sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You notice observer. You also notice samadhana, diksha, samadhana. And all the six treasures, you can drive away the six. I created the stage number 3. Once you are fully absorbed into the awareness of the flow of the breath, I don't say it's a breath mindfulness. Then we move into the third stage. There the mindfulness comes. So you already know, you are aware the breath is going in and out. You feel the sensation, you do not feel it. You are dropping Om Shanti on the dynamic breath that is going in. You already know that we drop mantra on the breath, we drop mantra on the 16 segments of the fingers, we drop the mantra on the spine. When you do on your own and you find the mind is distracted, you follow all the three. If the first is not helping you, you are not able to successfully drop the mantra on the moving breath, you can do it on the 16 segments. If it is not, you can go to on the triangle, or you can switch on again to the first. But at present, we are doing it. We are understanding now. So at any time you can reach to that state, samadhanam, first. Now, now, return to the 16 segments of the fingers. Drop the mantra Om Shanti. Your mind becomes aware of the first segment. For example, the index finger, you feel it in your now you see you are focused inside. You will feel a tremendous tingling sensation, or maybe the numbness or energy in these 16 segments of the finger. You are not moved by these sensations. You have a conscious takeover. Reiki and pranic healing, it is basically, or majority of the people go habitually that those sensations take over you. No, we consciously take over those sensations. From there, we can go even to the Reiki and the pranic healing, but that will become another topic. We are not going there. Our goal is to self-actualization, my friend. And now that inside the heart, visualize the triangle of any color. Move the mind on each side of it, triangle, dropping right and then triangle, three sides, represents desire, is I know I want to in my real self. So I have a desire for the real self. What about other desires? You said desire should not be there. Desire for the world outside seeking happiness. But when you do the desire for the real self, it is right desire. You want to recognize. That is what the three sides of a triangle represents. When it is pointing upward, it also represents the Shiva. When it is pointing downward, it is representing energy, Shakti. We are doing, you find there is a sink, then what? You are transitioning into the stage for how you sink mentally, deeply, pushing your mind deep inside the cave of your heart while singing Om. And then mind seems to strive you drop then do nothing. That is your fourth stage of the transition of self-absorption. We discussed that in detail. You will start having those virtual experiences, um, visions and colors and images of the people may appear. They are the passing clouds. Your goal is to find who you are. What you do with them, oh, let them come, let them go. Get carried away by them. Shanti, 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 we have the 5 stage of listening. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You're not in a hurry. Check that out. My mind wants to remain inside. It is self-absorbed. It does not want to return. That is a good thing. Rise in your awareness. Bring your mind on the right hand. Sensation. Bring your mind on the left hand. Feel the sensation. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes inside the palms and stay there for a while. And intellect should know what happened. I know what happened, where I'm, in what state. Down. Yes, Christina with A, yes. What is your...
Thank you. Notice really just wanting to stay in that state, and the moment of shifting out and noticing thoughts coming back and just contemplating how to bring that state into the rest of the day.
Yes, yes, yes. So it means the past impression returns with the full force with those thoughts. Now I have to do this, what I have to do. Yes, it means we need to continue the practice. But the other part is very good that you want to continue to live in. Very good. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very deep meditation, and it was interesting. I truly noticed the stages of going deeper and deeper, and there was just this last stage when you started your, the Om Shanti at the end, that it just went boom like that. I felt it. Very, very deep, very dark, very quiet. Thank you.
Beautiful. What a beautiful experience. How are you, Jerry?
Doing good, thank you. 2 things came up for me. First, I feel like the Samadhana actually described perfectly what I've been experiencing, that fulfilled and focused, because I feel tremendously fulfilled and focused without any of the stress. And then the triangle. I don't know if you've said it before, but I really appreciated the desire. So there's been a focused desire towards the self.
Yes.
And that knowledge of really using all the tools. And then the action has just shown itself. So it's been pretty effortless.
Beautiful.
Thank
Yeah. It's a subtle point, So you are doing the practice, and the knowledge is there. What is the knowledge? What I'm doing? I want to find the real self. So that is the knowledge. I should have a desire for the real self. But I also have a knowledge, it is already present in me. That is why this meditation is done, to recognize and realize. Mind, should remain in your mind to rise into the higher. Beautifully said. How are you?
Sorry, thank you. My meditation, as soon as I closed my eyes, I started to see words and random letters in the shapes of clouds, which my mind just said that, okay, this is the power of suggestion of Girish's lesson. And as soon as I realized that, those words turned into the clouds, and those clouds immediately dissipated. So it then set me into a very deep meditation where I was aware but absorbed. And then we got to the triangle. And as I started following the triangle, I had this experience before where I thought the triangle was shifting and moving and turning. And I then realized that, trying not to focus in on it, that it wasn't the triangle that was moving. It was the way I was looking at the triangle. I started out behind the triangle within myself, and then I was looking at the outside into myself, and then I was looking down to the triangle. And once I hit that third piece, it was almost as if I was absorbed into myself and just fell into this really deep meditation. So again, thank you.
Beautiful, yeah. Again, this process of contemplation helps you to absorb into a deeper meditation. Don't think that it should be emptiness. Through the contemplation and reflection, you are absorbed into the emptiness. But if you leave unattended those thoughts coming from the mind during the practice of meditation, it will not. This process, the way the Stephen has explained. How are you, Terry?
At the beginning, I started doing the fast breathing, and I thought that was what you said. And then I said, "Oh no, I'm doing the wrong breathing. We're supposed to do the other one." So that got me into a sort of I got into sort of agitation. So I had to work on let's see, separating myself from the just trying to do the practice and not getting annoyed that I did it less than perfectly.
Yeah, yes, so simple. We have to break the habitual pattern of the mind. Oh, breathing. And then I started doing. Then I recognized that, I have not done correctly. What is the correct way? Ask. Let the intellect ask. Oh, this is the correct way. Let me do it. Finish. Don't carry the baggage of the mind, the habitual, and the intellect will help us to go beautifully. That's another point of reflection. We should all have it. How are you, Christina?
Thank you, Girish. I was immediately absorbed, and it usually takes me some time, maybe a couple different, but I was immediately absorbed, and it was a very deep, peaceful, and soothing. It was very soothing. That's the word that's coming up for me. And at the end, when but I was aware of everything. Usually when I go deep, I kind of don't hear you so much. And at the end, I'm like startled. And I'm like, oh shoot, he's saying Om Shanti. And it startles me, but it didn't. And it felt very soothing and like a bath, almost like a sound bath kind of feel.
Beautiful.
So thank you.
Beautiful. First point that you are absorbed. And second point, you have to repeat the second point throughout the day. What is that point? Oh, I did the best because I rescheduled and I attended. So that helped me to change my mind. Another Christian out. have 5 businesses so that I can take. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल है और अभी भी वैसी ही कंडीशन है.
Yes, she is still in the same state after returning. Beautiful. That is all for today. Thank you. We'll